Welcome back. New video into Fox News of 5 more buses carrying migrants from Texas arriving in New York City earlier this morning. And we're learning more about where many are staying at taxpayer expense. The city is renting some 5,000 rooms at a swanky hotel just 1 block from Times Square with spectacular views of the iconic skyline. Rooms cost up to $700 per night. Oh, there's also a top-of-the-line fitness center on the 3rd floor. Officials are keeping the cost of all of this under wraps, but a similar package to house the homeless during the early days of the pandemic came at a $300 million tab. Dagan, you live in the city. These are your taxpayer dollars.
Yes.
Have at it.
Because again, this is a socialist state. New York City is a socialist government where we have city-run hospitals in this city. It's a sanctuary city where the door is wide open and they're free. Mayor Eric Adams ran on providing free services to illegal immigrants, and they weren't prepared for this. And this is just a smidgen of what border communities and border states are experiencing. Yeah. And this quote sticks with me. It was a quote that was from a former Navy veteran who was standing at a homeless shelter here in New York. And he said, "We've been here waiting, going through the process, and let me tell you, illegal immigrants are getting everything real quick. They got more in 4 or 5 days than I've gotten in 29. They're brushing us aside." And that will forever stick with me. Just one more quick thing. All of the atrocities we see, the 2 young children on the cover of the New York Post who died trying to get into this country, where are the crocodile tears from Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez or Idina Menzel, who was tweeting about my son hugged me because there are not going to be any more kids in cages, that lie? Where are the tears from these liberals over all the lives lost because of this wide open border?
Well, Kaylee, that's absolutely right. And one of the things we never hear about is how dangerous of a journey this is. And there are a lot of people that we die. Some people we won't even know about because their bodies get lost in the Rio Grande, or they're found days later.
That's right. A 2-month-old currently fighting for his life in that drowning episode Dagan mentioned in the Rio Grande. A 5-year-old girl was swept out of her mother's arms as she tried to cross the river. A 3-year-old boy likewise lost his life. This was all yesterday. And the New York Post, their headline says it all. Their editorial board, "Deaths of Migrant Children Expose Biden's Cruelty." Because the truth is, the luxury hotels we just showed in New York, that is not the end result for most illegal immigrants. For many, unfortunately, they reached death trying to get here. The numbers tell it all. 2019, 300 perished. 2020, 247. 2021, 566. You see it going up. And this year, we're only in August. Up through July, 609 migrants died trying to cross our southern border, and that doesn't count those who made the dangerous journey before. It is not compassionate to incentivize this.
No, it certainly isn't. And Douglas, Dagan mentioned that Mayor Adams ran on providing free services for illegal immigrants. Governor Greg Abbott wrote an op-ed in the New York Post, and a portion of it reads, Adams talked the talk about being a sanctuary city, welcoming illegal immigrants into the Big Apple with warm hospitality. Talk is cheap. When pressed into fulfilling such ill-considered policies, he wants to condemn anyone who is pressing him to walk the walk. I mean, if you say you're a sanctuary city for illegal immigrants, you can't kick and scream and call it a crisis when they voluntarily come here.
Absolutely not. I read about this in my column in the New York Post a couple of weeks ago. I've covered the issue of migration across several continents for decades now. And it's always the same story. You get a certain type of liberal who says, I don't understand why we need borders. You know, we should have a borderless world, build bridges, not borders, and all that sort of thing, until it comes to their doorstep. And you know, what Mayor Adams and others have done is absolutely wicked. They have encouraged people to come into the United States illegally. First of all, it's an insult to everybody who comes to this country legally, who goes through all of the necessary steps, the expensive steps, the time-wasting steps. All of those people get insulted when you just say, and illegal migrants can come in as well. But the second thing is, this fact of the numbers now coming across the southern borders are historic. This is millions of people every year. When that happened once in Europe, that was a once-in-a-generation problem. But the same numbers are happening all the time now in the US. And this city of New York has had to cope to date with only 5,000. 5,000. And they're struggling with that.
And most of them were flown into here by President Biden, and you don't hear Mayor Adams complaining about that. But Dr. Sapphire, he did say that the hospital systems in New York could get inundated by illegal immigrants. Now, how worried are you about that?
Well, Douglas hit on an important point that I also want to reiterate. We are not just talking about migrants. Our country was built on immigration, legal immigration. So what we're talking about here is the massive influx of illegal immigrants. And what we saw throughout the COVID pandemic was we barely have the framework to support the current people here when it comes to housing and our healthcare systems. People lined up outside of hospitals trying to get emergency care in New York City, in rural America, border cities. That was not media hype. That was real world for us. And then you have an influx of 5,000 people coming in overnight almost into New York City. It is going to put a strain on our healthcare system because of government encouraged policies of people not getting their non-COVID medical care, because of promoting sedentary lifestyles, keeping children out of schools and out of their social activities. This has caused a healthcare crisis in the United States. More Americans and people legally here are requiring more healthcare, and all these immigrants coming, they're going to need housing like we're talking about, but they also are going to need healthcare, and we don't have enough doctors, nurses, therapists, and everything else to handle the people we already have, let alone the people coming.
They're needing a lot. They're also getting cell phones and fancy hotel rooms as well.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.